have you remembered students? That means students, you just have remembered that who proposed two kingdom classification? Yes, that's Carlos Linnaeus. Okay, Carlos Linnaeus proposed the two kingdom classifications. Okay, Carlos Linnaeus, and that means that means he proposed only that of plants and animals. For that of plants, he included to that of bacteria, cyanobacteria, blue green algae, and that he included of that of some of the protists, even fungi, and he also included that of algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, all included, gymnosperm, angiosperms, all included into that of plant kingdom. Those who have cell wall, they included in the plant kingdom, and those organisms lack that cell wall, they included into that of animal kingdom. But that kingdom system was good at that for that time, because at that time there was no discovery, there is no, that means thought created, and that means scientific criteria enunciated or evolved to determine the concept of that of different species and to assemble them, group them. It was difficult task, but he did well, and it was good system for his time. But then the system in that means gradual evolved. The systems gradually evolved. New criteria included into to that classification systems. So obviously that scope of that system enlarged, and then new kingdom systems appeared. And you see that after that the three kingdom system classifications evolved. And who proposed it? Students, have you remembered who proposed three kingdom classification? Okay, you have to remember, you are forgetting everything. That means it is that you must have to remember, okay, that Ernest Haeckel, that German geologist, he proposed that three kingdom classification. And who that proposed that then three kingdom classification? Which kingdom that he included into either two kingdom classification? Yes.
Protista.
Yes. He Protista included. Very good. And that of eukaryote, that is simple eukaryotes. That means he included unicellular eukaryotes included into a new kingdom, that is Protista. Very good. And some of the protistas are that they are photosynthetic, and some are also heterotrophic. So, okay, you'll have to read. That means in elaborate in that of Protista kingdom, Protista, when I will teach you, you will know about that. And then you that after that three kingdom classification, there is a four kingdom system classification. Have you remembered that who proposed that four kingdom classification? Yes, Copeland. Yes, very good, Copeland. And that means he and which kingdom that he included?
Fungi.
Yes, very good. And then five kingdom classification. In five kingdom classification, that R.H. Whitaker, Robert Harding Whitaker, that means US ecologist, he proposed that five kingdom classification. And that five kingdom classification was accepted by all the biologists all over the world due to it is phylogenetic relationship. And today we'll have to discuss, study about that of five kingdom classification. And you should be very careful about remembering on which basis he classified such systems, and what are the that means the merits of that of classification, what are the drawbacks and demerit of such classification. And you must have to sincerely hearing my lecture and understand the points, and then you will have to go for the test. And now you will have to discuss about that five kingdom system classification. Okay. Five kingdom system classification. Five kingdom classification. Five kingdom classification. Okay. That R.H. Whitaker, his full name is Robert Harding Whitaker, in 1969. Okay. In 1969. He was USA ecologist. Robert Harding Whitaker, R.H. Whitaker, shortly in 1969 proposed five kingdom classification. His five kingdom classification is based on phylogenetic relationship. It is very important. Phylogenetic relationship. It is very important, that point. Just like morphology for that of two kingdom system classification, phylogeny for five kingdom classification. That you have to remember. Forget classification 3, 4 because it is out of course. And but only for your knowledge, for your good information, I have told about it. But you forget that one. But you remember that of phylogenetic relationship. He proposed that Robert Harding Whittaker in 1969, US ecologist, proposed five kingdom classification to indicate, to show phylogenetic relationship. That is the best concept of this five kingdom classification, to indicate or to show phylogenetic relationship. Students, you remember it in which year? 1969. Who was he? He was a US ecologist. What is his name? Robert Harding Whittaker, to indicate what? Phylogenetic relationship. That is very important. Then you must have to know about that, that in this classification, organism of each type have a proper place. That means in this classification, you know that in two kingdom classification, there is no distinction between that of autotrophic, heterotrophic, unicellular, multicellular, photosynthetic. That means heterotrophic. There is no such distinction. There is no such differences. Photosynthetic and that of heterotrophic, they included in one kingdom. Then eukaryotic and that is prokaryotic included in one kingdom. And there is unicellular, multicellular included in one kingdom, because there was no such scientific criteria for that means dividing different organisms into different kingdoms. There was no such development. There was that means there is no idea about that of genetics, about that of chromosome transfer, about that of different type of cell structure. There was no such idea in the time of Carolus Linnaeus, but that was completely, that means all such problems solved during the time of that is Whittaker. Whittaker made all such attempts in order to visualize that the five kingdom classification is the most. And you see that after him, there was a six kingdom classification, but that was not acceptable to all and sundry. In point of domains, 1, 2, 3 domains, prokaryote, that is bacteria and eukaryote, that may be correct. But six kingdom classification dividing Monera, that is into prokaryote and that is bacteria, is not acceptable. That means that biologists after that did not accept it, because it was not based on that proper paraphernalia to divide that species of one kingdom into two kingdoms. So that was not accepted, but on domains ground that was accepted. That you have to remember. Now what did that Carolus that means what he did in his classification? Organism of each type have a proper place on the basis of cell structure, on the basis of cell structure and evolution. On the basis of cell structure and evolution, that means Whittaker divided organism into different kingdoms, so that they are given the proper place. They have given the species have given the proper place in different kingdom on the basis of their cell structure and evolution. So there was no controversy arose thereafter, because the organism placed on its proper place, a suitable place according to cell structure and evolution. That 2 point on this 2 ground he made it. Owing to that region, it was accepted by the biologists all over the world, and among the kingdom system classification, that 5 kingdom classification is the most prominent one and is acceptable by the all biologists, even in his time, after his time, in future also. because only question is that of that Fazil's. That is Fazil's discovery, because Fazil discovery will give some impetus for further that is division of kingdom. But Fazil's, that means paleontology, the study of fossils is known as paleontology, but there is no such breakthrough. That means what type of breakthrough to be achieved on the ground of fossils and the discovery of fossils and analysis, that has been not possible. That has not made possible. Going to that region, you are giving stress on evolution, that is phylogenetic, that is evolutionary history of a species. You are giving more stress on evolution, but most of things you can know from that of fossils, but it is not possible because you have no such scientific development. That is, carbon dating process is there. You are using other such things, but it is not a complete one. You are not doing it on a complete basis. 1 minute. You are not doing it on a complete basis, so that is the problems that you are facing. But if you have to keep that of fossils, records fossils, then it will be easy that you will have to make that you have to divide it on a more scientific basis. If fossil, that is discovery of fossils are made, but it is not possible, and because there is no such breakthrough has been achieved. But you are basically that cell structure and evolution. Now you'll have to know about that what the factors, on which factors that 5 kingdom classification is based. Now you'll have to discuss about that characters. Okay, that of characters. You have to know about that of characters. 5 characters. That is characters. Characters of 5 kingdom classification. Now we'll have to discuss one by one. First of all, you have to give stress on that of living organisms are divided into 2 categories on the basis of structure of cells. On the basis of structure of cells. Okay, on the basis of structure of cells. First criteria is that of structure of cells. Living organisms are based on the structure of cells. You know that prokaryotic versus eukaryotic. Okay, eukaryotic. So that is cells divided into prokaryotic and eukaryotic. All the prokaryotic cells, as it is pros, that means it lacks what lacks? That is nucleus, that is nuclear membrane. It lacks nuclear membranes. Going to that region, prokaryotic cell made one, and that is carrier means that is nucleus and the pro before. That means before nucleus, so it is called prokaryotic and eukaryotic. So prokaryotic given kingdom Monera, and under the eukaryotic comes the 4 kingdoms. 4 kingdoms comes from Protista, Animalia, and that Monera. So on the basis of cell structure, he divided the kingdom under that prokaryotic and eukaryotic. That means all the prokaryotic organisms remained in Monera kingdom, eukaryotic in that of kingdom. That means 4 kingdoms. That is from Protista to that of Animalia. That is structure of cells. Then the principle of organic evolutions. The principle of organic evolutions has made it easy. That means how that first of all that you know that unicellular prokaryotes. Unicellular prokaryotes first develop unicellular prokaryotes. Then organic evolution. Through the organic evolution, some of the unicellular prokaryotes become what? That means some unicellular prokaryotes became unicellular eukaryotes. And some unicellular eukaryotes also multicellular eukaryotes. And some multicellular eukaryotes also became complex. That is complex multicellular eukaryotes. Okay. So that there is through the evolutionary process, that means unicellular prokaryotes developed first. Then came unicellular eukaryotes. Then came multicellular eukaryotes, then complex multicellular eukaryotes. So like this way, that is simple multicellular eukaryotes, you can also, that is simple multicellular eukaryotes, complex multicellular eukaryotes. So through the evolutionary process, organism developed gradually from unicellular prokaryotes to complex multicellular eukaryotes, but some unicellular eukaryotes became unicellular eukaryotes, not all. Because if all the unicellular became unicellular eukaryotes, so there is no question of existence of unicellular prokaryotes in this world. So some have been in evolutionary process changed into unicellular eukaryotes. And some of the unicellular eukaryotes became simple multicellular eukaryotes. If unicellular eukaryotes all become multicellular eukaryotes, there was no question of kingdom of protists. Protist kingdom did not have their origin in this world because it is owing to that some of the unicellular, only some became complex, not all. And simple multicellular eukaryotes became complex multicellular eukaryotes. So through the organic evolution, that organism gradually developed from unicellular prokaryotes to complex multicellular eukaryotes. This is the process of evolutionary. So phylogenetics. So they have phylogenetic relationship. You have phylogenetic relationship from unicellular to that of complex multicellular. And the progenote, what I had told that you have remembered the first organisms of that means of that from which prokaryotes originated. From prokaryotes, eukaryotes, like this process, that means evolutionary process started and developed. Okay. So that is the second point. He gave stress on organic evolution. So that is phylogenetic process that he gave stress of evolutionary process where prokaryotes became to that of eukaryotes. Okay. Then come to that of Whittaker classified organism on the basis of autotrophic and heterotrophic. That means autotrophic and heterotrophic. He also gave the characteristics that is of autotrophic and heterotrophic. Okay, that is autotrophic and heterotrophic. Heterotrophic, you know about that, which can that means prepare food for itself. So those species they are called autotrophic, and those depend on others they are called heterotrophic. So that autotrophic also chemosynthetic and then photosynthetic. Okay, there are two types. One is autotrophic, that is autotrophic chemosynthetic, autotrophic photosynthetic. Even heterotrophic also divided into two parts, that is hologic and another one is saprotrophic. Okay, saprotrophic. So that is one is that is heterotrophic. Autotrophic, that is chemosynthetic and photosynthetic, and holozoic. Those are holozoic. That holozoic, J-O-I-C, holozoic, they are ingestive. That means that they take food. Okay, they take food and through ingestion. That is called holozoic. They take food through ingestion. That means you belong to that category. That is holozoic. You are taking food through our mouth, so that you are holozoic. And then there are other groups. They are called saprotrophic. Saprotrophic means through absorptions. They are absorptive. So through absorption, they are called saprotrophic. So heterotrophics. So autotrophics are of two types, chemosynthetic and photosynthetic. Heterotrophic also divided into two groups. One is holozoic, that is ingestive. Another one is absorptive, that is saprotrophic. Details you will have to read in Kingdom Manira. In Kingdom system, when you start The next class tomorrow we'll have to start kingdom Monera. We'll have to know about that of chemosynthetic and photosynthetic oil. And when we will start that of kingdom Protista, we'll have to know about that. Even saprotrophic also you know that of that means in kingdom Monera, and the details you will have to know in kingdom system. You will know about the details about examples of chemosynthetic, photosynthetic, and holozoic and saprotrophic. You will detail know at that time, and you should not be hurried to know at present because we have to finish this today. That topic you will have to finish today. So I am just shortly telling autotrophic divided into chemosynthetic and photosynthetic, whereas heterotrophic divided into holozoic and saprotrophic. That you have to remember. You human beings that belong to that of holozoic because you are the ingestion. Through ingestion you are taking our food, and but there are some organisms they are saprotrophic. Through objective manner they take food. Okay, so that is autotrophic and heterotrophic. Then come to that that is that I have already told you that phylogenetic relationship. It is very important that he gets trace on that of phylogeny. Okay, that is phylogenetic relationship. Now you'll have to, that means on a division basis, on a table basis, you will have to know about the characteristics. On a table basis, you will have to know characteristics of 5 kingdom classification. Okay, classification. First of all, you have to know about that of characters. Characters and kingdom. Here you will have to know about that of Monera, Protist, that is fungi, and that of plantae and animalia. Okay, one by one you have to know. First of all, you know about that of cell type. Cell type. Cell type. Cell type, students, have you any idea that Monera cell type is? That is prokaryotic. 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 And from that of Protista to that of Animalia, what will be the cell type, students?
Eukaryotic.
Very good, brilliant. That is all eukaryotic. So eukaryotic. Short way I am writing because you have to get the notes. That is eukaryotics, also eukaryotes. Short way I am writing, not elaborate. I am writing the so cell type. So characters. These are the characters cell type. First cell type, that cell type prokaryotic Monera, and all are eukaryotic. Then you will have to know about cell wall. Then second one is that of cell wall. Okay, cell wall. Have you any idea of that Monera cell? That is Monera cell is non-cellulosic. Non-cellulosic. Okay, non-cellulosic. So that what do you mean by non-cellulosic? That is made up of polysaccharide and amino acid. That is made up of polysaccharide and amino acid. Okay, that is made up of non-cellulosic, made up of polysaccharide and amino acid. And the protists, some protists have cell wall and some protists have no cell wall. Pelliculi, some, that means in that Euglena, that is pelliculi. So you have to read in that a Protista kingdom, but some have cell wall. That means some have, not all protists have cell wall. So that is a drawback of the 5 kingdom system of classification. That he included some protists, those who have cell wall, and those who have no cell wall, they included into one kingdom. So, and the fungi, that is chitin, have you know that? That is chitin cell wall is made up of chitin, and the plantae, that is cellulosic cell wall. Cellulose, and there is no cell wall. Okay, Animalia lacks cell wall. So the cell wall, that is non-cellulosic, that is polysaccharide and amino acid, and that is Protista, and that Protista, that is some have cell wall and some have no cell wall, and that fungi cell wall, that chitin, and that plantae, that is cellulose, and the Animalia lacks cell wall. So that is cell wall. Then come to that of nuclear membrane. That is nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane students. Nuclear membrane students. That means nuclear membrane is absent. Absent. And students, please tell me that what is the status of nuclear membrane from Protist to Animalia?
Present.
Present. Very good, brilliant. That is present. I'm just writing P. Okay, present. So that is nuclear membrane absent here and here, absent here, present. Okay. Then come to that of body organization. Body organization. That is body organization. Body organization. You see that. That is body organization of that. That is cellular. That is Monera. You know that it is cellular. That is one cell. And Protist also one cell. That is cellular. But in case of fungi, that means what it would be, students? Fungi case, it will be multicellular. But loose, yes, multicellular loose type. Multicellular loose tissue. That is for case of fungi. Multicellular, that is loose tissue. And then for that of that is fungi. For plant, what is the students? That is tissue system present and the organ system. Tissue and organ. Tissue and the organ. Okay. Tissue and the organ system for present for plant type. And for that of Animalia, develop tissue, organ, and the organ system. So in Animalia, that tissue develop, organ system develops. It is not, students, not visible that Animalia side not visible to you. Now possible are you writing? Now okay, it is okay. Okay, students, that means you are not responding. That characters, I have already told you the character cell type, prokaryotic, eukaryotic, only Monera prokaryotic. In case of cell wall, that is non-cellulosic, consists of polysaccharide and amino acid. For Monera, Protista, some have tightly cellulose and then no cell wall. For Animalia, for nuclear membrane absent. For Monera, present for all the kingdoms, 4 kingdoms. Body organization, Monera is cellular and that Protista is cellular. But case of fungi, that is multicellular but loose tissue. For plantae, tissue and organ. And for Animalia, tissue, organ and organ system develop. So from this ground, what you have to mark? That means first develop the Monera species under Monera. Then develop species under Protista. Then develop species under fungi. Then species under plantae. Then Animalia. So that case, in such case, Monera first, then Protista, then fungi, then plantae, Animalia. On the basis of body organization, you are simply ascertaining that how such that evolutionary process occurred from that of prokaryotes to that of from Monera to that of Animalia. Okay. Now you will have to that of 2 characters. That means you will have to discuss one that of mode of nutrition, and another one is that of reproduction. Mode of nutrition, and to that of reproduction. Okay. First of all, you have to give you that of reproduction. You see that is reproduction. You see that in Monera, that means pigeons. That is pigeons, and that means spore formation. That is Monera, basically pigeons, and spore formation. Under the normal circumstances, that means pigeon is the general process, usual process of cell divisions and that of reproduction. But for case of unfavorable condition, that spore develops. That means spore develops and show that there is a spore formation. Spore formation, that means Monera reproduce through spore formation when unfavorable situation occur. When situation is favorable, normal, then that is fission. So fission, and some Monera also reproduce through a sort of sexual reproduction. A sort of sexual reproduction. A sort of sexual reproduction. Okay, a sort of sexual reproduction. Okay, by following the adapting primitive type of DNA transfer. Adapting primitive type of DNA transfer. DNA transfer. I will tell you in that means when Kingdom Manira will discuss, I will tell you how such sexual reproduction also found in that of Manira, Kingdom Manira. Some bacteria also how to do their sexual reproductions, okay, to continue their species. So that is reproduction, that is fission, sort of spore formation during the unfavorable situation, a sort of sexual reproduction, adapting primitive type of DNA transfer. That is very important that you have to remember. That is sexual reproduction. So reproduction in Manira through fission, normal situation, for not abnormal situation, that is unfavorable situation, and that is sexual reproduction. Some bacteria also do sexual reproduction when situation is not conducive for them. Okay, then come to that protist. Protist asexually and sexually. Asexually and sexually. That is asexually and sexually. Okay, protists do that reproduction through asexually and sexually by process of involving cell fusion and zygote formation. By the process involving cell formation and zygote formation. Zygote formation. That is protista. Protista do asexually and sexually, that is cell and zygote formation through the process of cell formation and zygote formation. And that is case of protista. And in case of fungi, that is vegetative means. Through that is vegetative means. Mostly through vegetative means, even asexual, okay, asexual and that of sexual. The fungi also do through vegetative means, through asexual and sexual. Vegetative in the sense that of fragmentation, budding and fission. That is fragmentation, budding and fission. That is vegetative means of reproduction in fungi. That is fragmentation, budding and fission. Mostly by fragmentation. You have to remember in vegetative reproduction. And asexual reproduction, that is involved, that is Sporangia, Chlamydia, and the ascospores. That is zoospore. That is Chlamydia. And asexual reproduction through, that is Chlamydia. That is Chlamydia, and that is also that Chlamydia. Then you should have Sporangia spore and Sporangia spores and zoospore. That is Sporangia spores and zoospore. That is vegetative means fragmentation, budding and fission. Asexual reproduction, Chlamydia, Sporangia spore and zoospore. And in case of sexual reproduction, oospore, ascospores, oospore, that is ascospores, okay, oospore, ascospores, and to that of basidiospores, that is basidiospores. So fungi do reproduction through vegetative means of fragmentation, budding and fission. Asexual reproduction through Chlamydia, Sporangia spore and zoospore. And sexual reproduction through oospore, ascospore and basidiospore. Question mostly set on that. Which of the following is not a type of asexual reproduction in fungi. You have to cite an example to that of that is you cite an example to that of Chlamydia, Sporangiosperm, Zoospore for asexual reproduction, and for sexual reproduction that is Oospore, Ascospore, Basidiospore. That is very important that you have to remember. Asexual reproduction examples that Chlamydia, Sporangiosperm, and Zoospore. For sexual reproduction, Oospore, Ascospore, and Basidiospore. Then come to that of Plantae. Okay, Plantae. I am just telling you that I am just writing here because you are not looking well. I am just writing here for Plantae and Animalia. That is for Plantae. I am writing just for Plantae. Plantae, that is vegetative. You know that. That is vegetative propagation. That means remember that asexual reproduction in plants is called vegetative propagation. So plant do their reproduction through vegetative propagation, and you will read in the next year, in this year also, because in that of morphology of plants chapter you will have to know about different plant propagals, how they that means do that reproduction. You will have to know about that balls, that is onions and rhizomes. You will have to know about that, but don't hurry now. So that is vegetative propagation. That is a type of asexual reproduction in Plantae. And another one is that of sexual reproduction. And the sexual reproduction, I have told you that in higher plants, sexual reproduction basically in angiosperm. In angiosperm, that you will mark that of sexual reproduction. But vegetative propagation, that is that of very small plants, and to that of vegetative propagation in algae and in bryophyte, pteridophytes, you'll have to mark that one. And from that pteridophyte, the seed habits develop, and seed first of all came into that of gymnosperm, which are not covered. There is no fruit in gymnosperm. Fruits develop in fruits. That means seed inside fruits develop in angiosperm. But in gymnosperm, only seed, that is naked seeds. So sexual reproduction mostly found in angiosperm and vegetative propagation. And for that of animal, that is asexual and sexual. And animal that is asexual. For lower organism, asexual, and for higher organism, that is sexual. So that you know about that of reproduction. So in plants, asexual reproduction are called vegetative propagation, and in angiosperm, in higher plants, sexual reproduction is found. And animals, there are two types: asexual and sexual. Asexual, for that of animals of lower, that means lower animals, they have asexual reproduction. Those who have higher animals, they have sexual reproduction. Okay. Now you'll have to come to that of mode of nutrition. You'll have to know about that of mode of nutrition. I'm just telling you that upon that mode of nutrition. That in mode of nutrition, that is mode of nutrition. Manira, that is the protist. Then we have to know about that fungi, then Plantae, then Animalia. Okay. First, I am telling about the mode of nutrition of Manira, that is autotrophic, and they are also heterotrophic. Okay, heterotrophic, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Okay, and the autotrophic, that means I have told you, I have also given you autotrophic, that chemosynthetic and photosynthetic you have known, and just you remember autotrophic and heterotrophic. I have already told you that they are saprotrophic and parasitic. Some bacteria are also parasitic. So parasitic and saprotrophic. They are of two types. Heterotrophics are of two types, parasitic bacteria and the saprotrophic bacteria. Okay, they are heterotrophic. So mode of nutrition of Monera is autotrophic, that is chemosynthetic, photosynthetic, and that heterotrophic, that is parasitic, and saprotrophic. Then come to that of protista. That is protista, that is auto, that is photosynthetic and heterotrophic. That is both autotrophic and heterotrophic. Both autotrophic and heterotrophic. They have both. That is some photosynthetic, that is, you know, that diatoms, euglena, dinoflagellates, they are autotrophics. And there are slimming molds like they are heterotrophic. Okay, heterotrophic. So they are autotrophic and heterotrophic. Then come to that of fungi. That is fungi, they are heterotrophic, saprotrophic, and parasitic. They are completely, there is no autotrophic in fungi. They are completely heterotrophic. Heterotrophic. Okay, they are completely heterotrophic. They are of two types. That is saprotrophic and that of parasitic. Parasitic. Okay, that is fungi are of two types. That is heterotrophic and parasitic. Then come to that of plants. All plants, that means in the 5 kingdom system of classification, all are phototrophic. Phototrophic. Okay, all are phototrophic in a plant. And to that of that is heterotrophic. For animal, that is heterotrophic. Heterotrophic, and I have cited example that some are holozoic and some are saprotrophic. Okay, some are saprotrophics. So this is all about that of mode of nutrition. That mode of nutrition, one autotrophic Monera, heterotrophic, that is parasitic and saprotrophic. And for that of protist, some are autotrophic, some are heterotrophic. For that fungi, all are heterotrophic. All are heterotrophic. They are saprotrophic or parasitic. And that of plants, they are phototrophic and heterotrophic. And animal heterotrophic, holozoic and saprotrophic. That is fungi and animals. They are some sort of equality in terms of heterotrophic nutrition. But animals are completely holozoic and saprotrophic. But there are some that is fungi, they are parasitic. Okay, and then that in the protista you will have to get both autotrophic and heterotrophic. So this is all about that of characteristics of 5 kingdom classification. Students, can you tell me that how many that characters have you remembered? One by one, can you tell me? Students, can you tell me one by one? Yes. I have told you. Yes.
Cell type, cell wall.
Yes. Yes.
Then nuclear membrane.
Okay. Very good. Yes. Yes.
Reproduction.
Reproduction.
Okay. Okay. Very good. You have remember that of that 6 characteristics I have told you. That means 6 characteristics I have told you. That means you have to remember all these things. It is very important. That means only table if you have to remember, that 5 kingdom classifications concept you have made clear. Now you'll have to know about that justification for 5 kingdom classification. Why 5 kingdom classification systems have been adopted by the biologists all over the world. That points you have to discuss now. Now you see that separation of prokaryotes. That means separation of prokaryotic from that of plant kingdom. That means bacteria. They are earlier included, Bilibin algae. They are included in the plant kingdom. That means they are separated. They are separated from that of plant kingdom and given a unified kingdom. That is kingdom Monera. So that is the best point of that of. That means it is that first point that you have to remember. It is a positive point because a new kingdom created of that of unicellular organisms, prokaryotes, which were earlier included into the plant kingdom, they given a status of separate kingdom. That is kingdom Monera. That is the first point you have to remember. Okay. Then the second point is that grouping of unicellular eukaryotes. Grouping of unicellular eukaryotes. Because prokaryotes are in that of kingdom Monera. So that means earlier in Protista, kingdom of Protista, there are some species which are in the different kingdoms. But what Whittaker did, he brought all such species into the kingdom of Protist and given a complete and given a new, that means new shape to that kingdom. So all the unicellular or eukaryotes came into that kingdom of Protista. So that status given. So Euglena before in that Euglena, that was before that. In other kingdoms, they brought it into the kingdom of, that means they brought into that kingdom of Protista, they gave a new shape to that kingdom. So that kingdom Protista became a unified kingdom because all unicellular eukaryotics became in the one kingdom. So that was a good point of that of five kingdom classification. Okay. Then that means elevation of fungi into the rank. You know that I have told you that fungi became a new kingdom in five kingdom classification. Earlier they were in different kingdoms. Some are in plant kingdom, some are in animal kingdom. What did he do? He brought all such heterotrophic organisms, those who have no chance of preparing their foods. They brought them, and because they looked in, that means they are morphologically they are completely different. Their process, living process, completely different. So they brought, and they are saprotrophics and parasitic. So they brought them into also species which are bearing all such characteristics. They brought into a one kingdom, and that kingdom became that kingdom of fungi. And they are that sweepers of this earth because they are completely, that means they are what are, they are that means sweeping, they are decomposers, they are completely decomposers. So these decomposers group brought into that of kingdom of fungi. So that a unified status given to that of kingdom of fungi by that Whittaker. So it is that of the plus point. It is justification to that point. And a system of classification that based on phylogenetically. That means origin wise. He made it on that of evolutionary wise. That means he gave status to that Monera. He first kept Monera kingdom because evolutionary that species came first. So given that status of kingdom Monera. Then that from prokaryotes, some unicellular eukaryotes developed, and that given status of protist. From some unicellular eukaryotes, then multicellular developed in form of fungi. They given status, and then that of plant kingdoms also given status because they develop into that of multicellular organisms, and then develop to that of animalia. That means they are given a status according to their phylogenetic relationship and evolutionary process. So that is the best approach which was given by Whittaker for the five kingdom classification system that you have to remember. These are the suggestions of that of that means these are the positive points of that of five kingdom classification. But despite being that, there are some sort of drawbacks of five kingdom classification. You see that Monera and Protista are still in a non-homogeneous, not in a homogeneous group. They are in a heterogeneous groups. You see that, like that of Plantae and Animalia, you see that Plantae and Animalia kingdom, they are given the homogeneous status. Homogeneous status means one kind of organisms grouped into this kingdom. But in case of that of Monera and Protista, you marked it that they are not homogeneous, they are heterogeneous. Because there are some organisms which are in Monera, there are some organisms which are in Protista, some are photosynthetic, some are heterotrophic. There are also some are photosynthetic, some are heterotrophic. So that So going to that region, they are not homogeneous. They are heterogeneous. Heterogeneous. Because some Monera are photosynthetic, some Monera are heterotrophic, some Protista are that is photosynthetic, some are what? That is heterotrophic. So going to that region, these are not heterogeneous groups. Monera kingdom, Protista kingdom are not heterogeneous. But that of Plantae, that is Plantae and Animalia, they are homogeneous groups because they are of same type of species included into that kingdom. But this Monera and Protista is the drawback because they are of heterogeneous groups. That you have to remember. Then phylogenetic relationship of lower organisms are not correctly drawn. That means phylogenetic, because phylogenetic relationship of higher organisms, it easily can be ascertained. Because from that fossil basis, from to the approach of paleontology, you can have to ascertain that dates of some organisms, some species also. But for that of those are lower organisms, their phylogenetic relationship, ascertaining their phylogenetic relationship is in dubious. That means it is not possible because it is a hazardous touch. And still now there is no phylogenetic relationship established, mostly for that of lower organisms. So phylogenetic relationship has not correctly find out the origin of lower organism from which they originated correctly. You are some presumingly, that means you are probably that is thinking certain aspect, but not historically, because there are so many organisms that their phylogenetic factor has not been completely ascertained. So that is that of drawback for that of lower organism. That is the drawback of also for that of five kingdom classification. Then you know that that is unicellular green algae such as Chlamydomonas and Volvox. You know that is Chlamydomonas and Volvox. They are unicellular organisms, but they are included into that. In which kingdom they are included, students, now? In which kingdom Chlamydomonas and Volvox are now included? Have any idea? They are included in the kingdom of, they are now in that algae, but in the kingdom of Plantae. Okay, they are Chlamydomonas and Volvox are now included in the kingdom of Plantae, and they are given that algae status because they are because they are similar to that of algae. They are similar to that of algae. Going to that region, they have given the status of green algae. Chlamydomonas and Volvox are green algae because they are similar to that of green algae. Going to that region, they are included, but they are unicellular. They are included into that of Plantae kingdom because of their similarity to that of green algae. That is the point. That is the concept you have to remember. Now, Chlamydomonas and Volvox in the kingdom, five kingdom system, kingdom. Okay, earlier they were in other kingdom, they were in Protist, but they brought into that of a Plantae kingdom through by Whittaker's effort. Okay, that you have to remember. These are the drawbacks of that of, and that means Slimme molds which are quite different. Another thing that Slimme molds which are looking quite different from other organisms of Protist, but they have included into the Protist. They have given status in the kingdom of Protist, so that this is also a drawback of five kingdom classification. Because Slimme molds is looking different from that of other organism of Protist, despite being it was included in the Protist kingdom of Protist. So this is another drawback of the five kingdom classification systems. Okay, this is all about today, and you know that five kingdom classification. Mostly you remember that means the table which I have given that different 6 characteristics, and that means so that characteristics of different type kingdoms, and you have to remember that one. That is very important, and who that proposed it. That is Whittaker. Who was he? In which year? That is important for examination point of view. and that's enough. And only Volvox and Clavidomonas and Volvox that included in the kingdom of Plantae in 5 kingdom classification. That's enough. That is enough. Any examination you will see that such type of things and not more than that. There are so many things, but only that you will have to lose time. So I will discuss unnecessary things, because if you have to be biologist, a zoologist or botanist, you must have to give stress at your +3 level. But in this level, that means you must have to gain that of conceptual basis, you know things. It will immensely benefited to you. Okay. Now come to 5 MCQs. First question, student write down, select the correct pair. Okay. Now come to that 5 question. Select the correct pair. Okay. That is 6 kingdom classification. 6 kingdom. 6 kingdom classification. That is that you write down that is Linnaeus. Then 2 kingdom classification. You write down that Carlucci. Then 4 kingdom classification. 4 kingdom classification. That is Copeland. And that of 3 kingdom classification. That is Aristotle. Students?
C. C.
Yes, very good. C is 4 kingdom classification, that is Copeland. 6 kingdom classification, Carlucci. 2 kingdom classification, Linnaeus. 3 kingdom classification, that is you have remembered that Ernest Haeckel, and 4 kingdom classification, Copeland. Very good. That is the right answer. Okay. Then come to that of question number 2. Question number 2. In this kingdom system of classification, question number 2. In this kingdom system of classification, R.H. Whittaker included the kingdom, that is Manira, Baptista, C. Dante, D. Hunter. In his kingdom system of classification, R.H. Whittaker included the kingdom Manira, A for Manira, B for Protista, C for Plantae, D for Fungi.
A, sir. A.
Sir,
A.
yes.
A.
A is that he included kingdom Manira. He included kingdom Fungi.
Sir, fungi.
He included kingdom Fungi, not Manera. Manera included, that is in that 4 kingdom classification. That Manera already included. Okay, he included that Fungi. So answer will be Fungi. You have to remember, students. It is very important. In his kingdom system of classification, R.H. Whittaker included the kingdom Fungi. It is very important that you have to remember. Protista included in 3 kingdom classification. That is Monera in the 4th kingdom classification and fungi in 5th kingdom classification. Okay, don't mind. Then come to that of question number 3. Who among the following was a German geologist? Question number 3. Who among the following? Who among the following? Question number 3. Who among the following was a German geologist? Who among the following was a German geologist? A.
Sir, Ernest Haeckel.
Yes.
Ernest Haeckel.
Okay, we are right, but let me write the question. Okay, Carl Uge. Then you write down that Carl Uge, then Herbert Copeland. Then you write down that of that is Whittaker. Okay, then Ernest. Which one answer?
Option D, Ernest Haeckel.
Yes, very good. Who among the following was a German geologist? Answer will be the Ernest Haeckel. Very good, very good. Brilliant. Then come to that question number 4. Match the columns. Question number 4. Match the columns. Match the columns. Question number 4. Match the columns. I. Oh, that is A. You have to write down that allophiles. B. Acidophiles. C. Methanogens. D. That is Archaebacteria. Okay. Here you write down that sewage treatment plant. Sewage treatment plant. Okay. Then come to write down that deep sea water. Deep sea water. Then option 3 you write down that hot sulfur spring. Hot sulfur spring. Then you write down that salty areas. Salty areas. Then A, B, C, D. That 2, 5, 5, 3, 6, 5. Then you write down that IV, then triple I, then II, then I. Then C, IV, triple I, II. Then I, II, triple I, IP. Students?
Sir, C.
Yes.
C.
Yes, who told C? That C is right. Very good. Brilliant. C is right. You see that. Holophiles in salty areas. So IV. Then acidophiles. That is what? That is acidophiles. Hot sulfur. That is hot sulfur springs. Okay. Then methanogens. I have told you methanogens in sewage treatment plants. Because that gobar, that means huge cow dungs are used. So, and the sewage treatment plant, that means sewage, that means our drain waters. Drain waters, municipal drain waters, they are being created, and from that drain water, That means that from that sewage, methano gas is produced through that of methanogens bacteria. So that methane gas produced a methanogens waste treatment plant, and then archaea bacteria that live in deep sea water. So that to answer will be C. Acidophile, halophiles, salty areas, acidophile, hot sulfur spring, methanogens waste treatment plant, and archaea bacteria deep sea water, because it was the first organism developed in deep sea. So archaea bacteria generally found in deep sea water. So answer C, very brilliant answer. Then come to that of last question. Okay. Then come to that of question number 5. Question number 5. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Question number 5. Which of the following statements is incorrect regarding two kingdom classification? Okay, two kingdom classification. Which of the following statement is incorrect regarding two kingdom classification? It was proposed by Carolus Linnaeus. It was proposed by Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, in 1758. Then option B. It made a distinction between. Between. Okay. It made distinction between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. And then eukaryotes. Then option C. It divided the living world into kingdom Plactae and Animalia. It divided.
Sir, option A. Sir, option A.
Let me finish, students. Let me finish. Wait. Okay. It divided plants and animals in two kingdoms. Then option D. It was based on cell 1. It was based on cell wall locomotion. Okay. Cell wall locomotion and mode of nutrition.
Sir, option A.
So that is two kingdom classification. Which of the following statement is incorrect regarding two kingdom classification? And brilliantly you see that it was two kingdom classification. It was proposed by Carolus Linnaeus. Carolus Linnaeus proposed, in which year proposed? In 1758. So it is correct. Okay. You see that it made a distinction between prokaryote and eukaryotes. In two kingdom system, I had told you.
Option D.
Option B, yes. Option B is the right answer. Brilliant answer. Okay, so option B is the right answer. Because he did not make any distinction between prokaryotes and eukaryotes, between that of unicellular and multicellular, between photosynthetic and what? Heterotrophic. There is no such distinction in his time. So this is the only that demerit, that is incorrect. It divided plants and animals into kingdom true. It was based on cell wall, locomotion, mode of nutrition. It was true because only phylogenetic. If this option was included phylogenetic relationship, then you make it wrong. Okay, it is not correct. Phylogenetic relationship was not established during the time of Carolus Linnaeus. It was only developed during the time of that Whitaker. Okay, so that is correct. So this one correct, this one correct, and this one also correct, but this one wrong. So answer will be this one. So B option is right. Who has told this? B option. Many thanks to her because she has reading. She is reading well, marvelously, and very good. And very thankful to her. Okay, and you students who have not opted for B also, you read my the notes sincerely and prepared before coming to that coaching. You must have to be prepared well. Read my notes well and then appear the test. Okay. Thank you, students. Thank you. Tomorrow I will start Kingdom Manira. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.